Warning.
You are now tuned in to 7 Mile Radio. 7 Mile Radio.
Hey, everybody. What is everybody up to today? It's your girl. You already know, Taste. You guys better be following my IG page at Taste One Official. Okay, and my Facebook at Latoya A. Twilly. All right. But today we got a good show for everyone. Today my show is it's a heavy topic today. It's gonna really touch some people. It's a very emotional show today. It's very gonna be informational. This show probably can help a lot of folks today. Whoever's listening, out there. But the name of my show today is The Battle We Fight. We are fighting a lot of battles, you guys. This mental health disorders, these are like depression, for instance, bipolarness. Those are two like main sources of this mental health diseases that we are fighting, disorders that we are fighting today with a lot of people. And we just gotta pray. Just take time out and just really get on your knees and pray about it, because them demons would try to take over and they would try to win towards the end. And we don't want that. We want everybody to be living a good life, be healthy, be you, be free, and smile and just be happy and at peace with your life. Everybody is not fortunate to have a good life like they want, but at least you breathing, and at least you able to get up, you can go to work, and you have your mind. A lot of people don't have that. So it's going to be very, very, very informational tonight. Tonight I have my sister joining me. Hello, Raisha 10.
Hey y'all.
AKA Raisha the Finisher on IG and Facebook.
Yes.
Right? Okay.
That's right.
Just gotta make sure we got everything lined up.
How y'all doing out there today?
Yeah, so she's gonna join me in this discussion because she's gonna give you guys a little bit of personal history with depression, and then she also just gonna be talking about it. I've been through it. She's been through it. A lot of people have been through it. I know a lot about it. She know a lot about it. So I just want everybody to tune in right now, if you can. 7 Mile Radio live and YouTube 7 Mile Radio. Here we go.
Let's go.
So, mental health disorders.
It's a lot of them.
It's a lot of them, but mainly the ones that everyone talks about is depression.
Yeah.
And bipolar.
Yeah.
And for those who is out there today and they don't know what depression is, I'm gonna break it down a little bit for you, and what bipolar disorder is. If you don't know, I'm gonna break it down just a little bit so you can get a fully understand. But some of you guys may already know what it is. So depression is a mood disorder that causes a present feeling of sadness, and sometimes your interest levels will be down, and it can interfere with your daily activities and functioning or whatever you got going on. So it's basically, it affects your mood, and it can have you at highs and it can have you at lows. You just never know, because it can trigger anytime. You can be fine one minute and the next minute you're not. So that's depression. As far as bipolar is a mental disorder as well, and this is like one of the top ones, other than depression, that causes unusual shifts of mood as well. So it messes up your moods, but it's a difference, with the depression and bipolarness. It really messes with everything that you got going on. Energy level. You're just your your mood and how you're dealing with stuff that you got going on, any activities or your daily function, if you're getting up to go to work or if you're just, just at home, it'll mess with you at any moment,
Creep up on you.
at any moment of time, like she said, it'll creep up on you. So it is a difference, but they are similar in a lot of ways as well.
Yeah.
But I know a lot of people right now may be going through some depression, and a lot of people are bipolar, and they have to take medication to control it. Some people do, some people don't, because that medication affects others, and a lot of people it doesn't affect. But it's very.
And the other thing about it is there are a lot of people with mental illnesses that are undiagnosed.
Undiagnosed at all.
And they don't want to know
absolutely
what's going on. They think they're okay. That is normal.
Absolutely. They think that they fine because a lot of people don't like to admit that there's a problem. So they they'll just keep on going on with their day and be like, well, there's nothing wrong with me. And I'm fine, but other people see a side of them that they may not see. And sometimes people say I know I was watching this movie one time and they just had them reflect and look in the mirror and look at yourself. Sometimes when you're going through something, just look at yourself and look at how you acting through what the vision of we see you as, because you don't see it. So just take a moment out your life. If you're going through one moment a time out, out your day or whatever, if you're going through something, just look in the mirror and look at yourself. Because you may not see the reflection of that we are seeing within you because you think you're fine.
Yeah, but then there's also this stigma of if I let it be known what it is that I'm facing, that I'm going to be judged by what it is that I'm dealing with.
And it is a lot of people out there judging people.
Yeah, they're going to have their opinions about me because you ain't heard such bipolar or such and such schizophrenic or
and so
blah, blah,
what?
blah. So there's that stigma of I can't let nobody know that I have an issue.
And
so
that's
I'll keep it hidden and I'll try to deal with it in the way that I know how to deal with it.
Yeah, try to deal with it on your own, and you trying to deal with it on your own is creating a lot of problem that you don't even realize that it's creating. It's not good. It's a battle. Sometimes you cannot win.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's very.
And then it depends on the stage, where you're at with it. Because there's different stages of depression that I can speak on.
Pretty much so.
You can have, some people have severe depression where they spend days and days in the bed in the dark, not talking to nobody, not going to see anybody, not doing anything to care for themselves, like take showers or take baths or eat.
Absolutely.
It's just really bad to the point where they're not eating, they're not speaking to nobody. They're just in this darkened space, this darkened energy. And then you have people with just mild depression where just, it's here and there. I may feel this way for a moment, but I know how to shake it and get myself back together where it's not impacting my daily living. Activities. But when it's to the point where it is impacting your daily life, it is impacting the people that's in your life, that's when you need to seek help.
Absolutely, absolutely. And that's the thing. A lot of people really think that, they may say, yeah, I have it, but I can control it. It's okay. And not realize that it is really taking it's eating away every day.
Eroding you.
It's just eating away at you so bad to the point you just so messed up, and it's you gotta get you some help, baby. Because a lot of our culture, we feel like we can't talk to nobody. Yeah. We feel like seeking professional help. Who do that?
It's a problem.
The
Black people don't do that.
Black people don't do that. Our culture don't do that. We don't talk to outside people we don't know.
Or we have experienced so much of, what's called the gossip culture, right? That we don't want to be included in that, where we lay our issues out to somebody who we consider a friend, and then they turn it around and use it against us. In some kind of situation where they're holding us, maybe making us look bad in front of somebody else, or want to get into a argument or a dispute with you, and then say, well, that's why you like this because of that. You know what I mean? So that's the reason, part of the reason, because we go through enough on our own for the people around us. You know what I'm saying? To try
In
to
life in
take the
general.
thing, to take the
Yeah.
things that we go through and turn them around against us. So that's part of it is a defense mechanism of our own.
Yeah.
Like what you said earlier, like, okay, I can take care of it on my own. That's
Yeah.
part of what we feel like is taking care of it on our own is keeping it to ourselves, because if you don't have a solution to my problem, why am I explaining it to you? Why am I
Exactly.
talking to you about you can't fix it? So talk about it to you for what? Only thing I'm doing is giving you an avenue to attack me
That's
with.
Use something against me.
That's
Yeah.
true.
And that's in anything. A lot of people feel like that. Like I'm exposing myself to the therapist or to a person that I supposedly trust. And if something happens, it's going to be the aftermath of, because that be crazy. Yeah, no, she's just such and such. He crazy. Y'all ain't heard?
Yeah, we gotta stop that, though. We gotta
especially
stop
if it's a
that.
woman, right? Because
Yeah.
now we got the angry black woman narrative. You know what I'm saying?
We
that you
already
gotta
got
deal with.
people.
Don't
we
mess with her.
already-
Don't talk to her. She crazy.
Yeah, they already got names on her. We already crazy already. And to top it off, if she dealing with anything as of being bipolar or depression, oh, she crazier. Nah, I ain't
Yeah.
fucking with her. She crazy. Which some people are crazy now.
It can be bad. Yeah.
It can
Some people
get there. You
go all
know
the way
what I'm
low.
saying? Go left. And we've been trying not for it to go there. But it can get there. Especially a lot of them that's probably on the meds and need the meds, but they really not taking it because of the simple fact it's just really doing some other stuff to them. So
Yeah.
it can go there. But we gotta stop doing that. We gotta stop labeling people as crazy because
Of things
of
they're
their
dealing
mental disorders. Yeah, we can't do that because it's not right. I wouldn't want no one to be like, oh, well, you like this. And I'm like, well, look, I can't help that I'm the way that I am.
Yep.
You know, I would prefer you want to, give me some help or, be,
Help me get through it.
yeah, then for you to say I'm crazy. You know what
Make
I'm
it more
saying?
difficult for me.
Because if you've never been in this situation and you never know how it
Well,
is, why would you say
And this
that?
may be, and this is not like, I don't want to, it may come off as, and it may not, victim blaming, right? But it's
Right.
like just
That
isn't
too. That part.
isn't it just as much of the responsibility, I guess, of the person with the mental disorder to understand that they have a mental disorder?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Just as it is the people around them to understand. Because the thing about it is, if
Very
I
much
can
so.
understand that you have a disposition about yourself, right? But now is it my responsibility now to just deal with it, right? Because
Right.
now you can use that as leverage against me because I got this issue, so just deal with how I am.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like people will use that as a reason to act up,
Act up
out,
and be how they are.
and be how they are because you know how I am.
Hello,
But
Rocky.
if you know how you are, right?
Then it's
Isn't
my
it
job
isn't
to
it just
control
as
it.
just as your much of the responsibility of you to control that?
Yeah.
And keep that under as much control as you can. Observe.
That is
But
true.
then maybe sometimes people argue that that's part of the mental disorder is their inability to observe that.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I think the main thing is their inability to see themselves as well with that illness, because like she said in the beginning, a
Absolutely.
lot of people don't recognize
Don't.
when there's a real issue that needs resolving. They think it as, oh, this is just a phase, something that I'm going
Yeah.
through, something I'm
I'll
dealing
get
with in
through
the
it.
moment. Yeah,
I
I'll
need
get
no
through
help.
it. So why I need to go speak to a therapist? Why I need to go talk to a psychiatrist? They can't help me. They can't change what I'm dealing with. They don't know my story.
Yeah.
They don't know what I had to deal with, because a lot of issues derive from childhood traumas or
Absolutely.
things that you dealt
Absolutely.
with, or even
Absolutely.
current things that you may be
Dealing with right now,
that
yeah.
you didn't know how to face. So you found another avenue, which wasn't necessarily the right avenue, and you allowed yourself to stay there.
Stay in
because
that
once
place.
you get there, it's hard. If you don't try to get yourself back up, it's hard to get out of it. It's hard to get out of that funk.
That's
like
what
once you there.
And that's one of the questions I wanted to ask you, like, since we on the subject of that, like, currently right now, I don't know how open you want to be. You can be as open as you want. You can say however as much as you want to say, but talk a little bit about your depression state that you was going through. How did you get to that point when you was in your depression state? Hey, Rocky, I see you. They crazy, I know.
So I dealt with depression on a high level in my younger years. That's when it started. And it got there. I think that it was really always there, but I hid it. Like after the childhood trauma, I dealt with a lot of different things growing up. One of the things that impacted me was our father not being there when we were little.
Yeah.
And then the other thing that impacted me was me being raped at 7. So I was raped at 7 years old. A lot of people don't know that about me. I don't share because I don't feel like, it's a reason to share with everybody. If the need be, and God feels I need to give my testimony.
You don't
to
want a
specific
pity
person.
party.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. She's
I don't
sharing
need a
it
pity-
now. She said what
I don't
she
need a
said,
pity party, so
period,
I shared it here first.
Thank you. Said it here first. We
So
appreciate that.
at age 7, I dealt with that and I carried it. I didn't share it. I didn't
you ain't
let nobody know about it. Not my mother, not you, not nobody that was in my life.
Definitely we didn't know about
for
it.
a kid to carry trauma such as that on their own
young.
at a young age, it messes with you.
Yeah.
And when I
Absolutely
should have been
can.
getting help or talking to somebody,
someone.
I
Absolutely.
held it in. I kept it in. I internalized the pain and dealt with what I shouldn't have been dealing with at my age alone. So it broke me. And I started breaking at that point. I wasn't the same after that. I tried to act like I was the same. I tried to hide it. I tried to divert the way that I was feeling and say, okay, well, whatever. It'll get better. I'll be fine, blah, blah, blah.
Absolutely.
But from that moment forward, I believe that that's when it began because I started having like sad moments. I'll be in class. I remember
You was feeling those type of
feeling
feelings.
those feelings.
Yeah.
Like, feeling shame, feeling
Did you feel that it was your
feeling
fault?
abused, feeling like I should have spoke up.
Yeah.
I should have tried to fight. I
You
should
had
have.
questions
Yeah.
and thoughts in your mind that a
That I
child
shouldn't
shouldn't
handle.
have and
Yeah.
shouldn't
Or-
have to handle on your own
Yeah.
at that age. You know what I mean?
Definitely not.
Yeah. And I believe that's where it derived from because from that moment, I would be in class crying, just like crying. And my teachers would be like, what's wrong? What's wrong, Rachel? Why are you crying? Just out the blue. I'll just start crying.
Yeah.
And I would cry every day. I would have dreams. It was just a lot of different triggers. I
Yeah, it
could
was
watch
eating at
things
you.
on TV
I
and
believe-
it was just eating at me.
Hold it. I believe Gloria Patrick, I'm watching the comments on my page too. She said, will y'all post some information to help people, other people find resources about those matters? And I believe you do have
Yeah, we have the hotlines, and hopefully Mark can get them up
Yeah, I'll
towards
put
the
that up there.
end, or like throughout the show. He'll
Yeah.
put it on the bottom of my page, so you guys can get that help that you need. It's also a number you can text as well. I gave you those, right? You
Yeah,
got
I'm
them?
about to load
Okay,
it
yeah.
up, I'm looking for it.
So yeah, definitely. And then, it's always people that, if you feel free, like I said, you can always follow my page at Taste One Official or Latoya Ann Twilly. And if you can inbox me, I'm always able to talk to people. I'm always that type of person that is comforting, and if I can just be a listening ear, if you don't want no feedback from me.
Right.
Go ahead, Ray.
But yeah, so I think it derived there. And as a kid or even as an adult that may be dealing with any type of trauma,
Right.
if you internalize it instead of just speaking your truth or telling someone, this is what I'm feeling, this is what I've experienced, and I think I need a little help because
That's the
I don't
problem,
know
though.
how to handle these different emotions that I'm carrying right now.
People don't
That
know
it
how to go
helps
to
and it would
people.
nip that in the bud before it even gets to that point.
Yeah.
But because I didn't do that, and I internalized it all and carried it for so
Mm-hmm.
long. And then when I would get in relationships,
You carry that with it.
I carried it into,
Into
the
the
relationships.
relationships.
Yeah, where it became anger, where it became, then if they hurt me, I just added on top of what I already
Already
was
And now,
dealing
you,
dealing
and now
with.
you're taking these
And now
angers out in other
and the-
areas
that I
that
shouldn't be.
That she shouldn't
That
be
I
doing
shouldn't
at
be.
all.
So I'm adding all these different things, and then as you go through life, you go through more trauma, you go through more things, whether it be something small, whether it be something big. And if you never dealt with the first issue, then it's like taking a cake and adding so many layers
On
right?
top.
And you're never able, like, when I'm gonna get to the bottom layer, but you've never had time to even start eating the bottom layer to
at
even
all.
know what it
Yes,
tastes like.
ma'am.
You started at the top instead of starting down and working
Yeah.
your way up to try to heal the first wound, but you keep adding
Adding
on more
to it.
wounds and adding on more wounds, and then it gets to the point of I'm tired.
You're about to explode. Yeah, you
Yeah.
having those feelings.
And now you're at the point of no return.
I don't even want to be here no more.
Now it takes one more thing, that one last straw, that when something happens, and now you're ready to explode. And that's what happened with me. I got to the point where I'm like, I'm tired. So then I went into that dark place. The devil started messing with me, talking to me like, you ain't worthy. You're not this. You la 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 la. You just let every man take advantage of you. You've been doing that since you were a kid. Just letting people take advantage of you. You never speak up. Blah, blah, blah. All these different things that I started telling myself, like, it's your fault. You should have fought back. You should have screamed. You should have did this. You should have did that. It was all my fault.
Blaming
In my
yourself.
head, I kept blaming myself for everything that happened from that point forward. From everything that happened with relationships, I would just internalize and take so much from people, take so much from men that if I had let go of the stuff in the past, I would have been able to be more stronger when it came to relationships. And I probably wouldn't tolerate it as much as I tolerated, because I would have loved myself, but I didn't love myself because I felt like I wasn't worthy of that love. I felt like I wasn't worthy of a lot of different things because of the things that I dealt with. Like I put the blame on me instead of putting the blame on the
And
adult.
a lot of people you find that's dealing with depression and bipolarness, really depression, they always put the blame on their self. And they always say, it's my fault. I did it. Me. And a lot of the times they don't love themselves.
Yeah,
It's
you
no
don't.
self-love there, period.
You don't.
It's,
You lose it.
You're very empty inside.
Yeah.
And you feel that no one
one
loves
understand.
you. You know, no one loves you. No one accepts you. Why am I here?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So at that point when you was feeling like that,
and
you was adding layers on top of layers, at what point you said, okay, when did you say, okay, I need to take steps to improve and to change the way that I'm feeling?
To be honest, I never at that time thought about speaking to a therapist, thought about seeing it as a depression state. I didn't see it then.
Because at this time now, you're what age?
So this is years later, because that happened when I was 7. Then years later, it was still always there, but I, would let go of it, not think about it until something else triggered it for it to come back. And then I go back into that darkened space. Because like I said, it'll be spaces. Depression is not always consistent.
No, it's
it
not.
can creep up on you based on situations that you may in, or based on things that you may be dealing with. It'll creep up on you. But if things are going good for a moment,
it'll definitely resurface.
You try to forget about it, and you try to like live normally until something happens that re-triggers it, and then it comes back. And that when I got to the point where I will look outside and it's raining and I'll start crying, that's when I knew it was getting bad, because it wasn't a reason for me to cry. At that point, especially when things started going good, I'm, in school, I'm living my life, doing all the things that I love, and then I just bust out crying for no reason. Like, it didn't take somebody saying something to me, didn't take somebody doing something to me. I would just cry. And then I got to the point where I would just start shutting people out, not really socializing as much, and just, sleeping more than I normally would sleep, and not speaking to people as normally. And anybody that knows me knows I'm a talkative person. I'm a sociable person. I love
sure
people.
Is.
And so when it got to that point, I'm like, dang, that's when I knew then that it was something more. But even then, I didn't go in, go in the direction that I needed to go in.
I still was feeling helpless.
I still was feeling helpless.
Yeah.
And then it was like that last little thing, that last little trigger that I was like, you know what? I don't want to be here no more. I don't want to live no more.
At that point, that's when you decided it.
Yeah, I don't want to live no more. And that's when I decided, like, I don't want to be here no more. And I didn't feel that way one time. I felt that way multiple times before I took the action.
So people out there that's dealing with this right now, we know this probably is not the first time you felt like committing suicide. We know it probably been multiple attempts. We have people right now that's not here today because they have tried it and tried it and tried it and then finally succeeded. So at that point, like Raisha said, she got to the point where she just was like, look, I'm just over it. Nothing's helping. I just don't feel like I should be here. I'm just empty inside. Yeah. And I know a lot of people going through something right now, and I know a lot of people may be feeling the same way she felt at that particular point in her life. But she is a witness to this day, by the God, Almighty God and mercy, she's here.
Yeah.
She's here. She overcame her depression, even though she still may it be spikes and moments.
And even though, let's be honest, I got to the point where I did try to commit suicide.
Yeah.
I did overdose on pills and just say I want to be gone. I don't want to be here.
And
no
that
more.
was your first attempt.
That was the only attempt. Yeah,
First
that
and
was
last
first and last
attempt.
attempt. Thank God.
And see,
but I got to that point where I was like, okay, I love my
That's a
family,
blessing.
and it wasn't that people didn't love me, because a lot of people like to believe like, okay, people that's dealing with depression, they don't feel love. They
by
feel like, no,
others.
I had a lot of love surrounding me. I had a lot of people that loved me.
Mm-hmm.
But the point of the matter was I didn't love myself. I didn't
Self-love.
know myself anymore. I felt like I lost myself.
That's
I
it.
was empty.
That's
and the
it.
only way to be replenished in self-love is, one, to get love with God, gain a relationship with God,
That's it.
trust in God. And once I started to trust in God more, I started to love me more. And that's when I got to the point where I said, God gave you a second chance, because he didn't have to give me a second chance. I was
Yep.
supposed to be gone.
You was
I
thinking
wasn't
about
supposed
other,
to be here
other
anymore.
ways of life.
Yeah.
And how your life is
Yeah.
valued.
And I didn't
it's-
value
you
my
worth
life
living.
then.
You worth living now.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
I was
had
ready
another
to end it.
perspective of it.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
ready to end it all. And I didn't think about who loved me, who was going to miss me. None of that. I just said, I'm ready to go. And I took that step so that I could be gone. But
And
thank
that's what a lot
God for
of
my
people
best
do.
friend
Thank God.
who understood, who knew me well enough to know, Raisha,
Something ain't right.
Something ain't right. She didn't call me and told me she loved me. And something ain't right.
And to reach to just pinpoint what you just said, how you called and you reach out to her. A lot of the times when people are fighting this battle that is
They
so
reach out.
hard for them to control, they are going to reach out. They're going to leave a note. They're going to leave a text message. They're going to try to call you. They're
Some kind
going
of cry for help.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's their cry for help, because they really don't want to do it, and they trying to hope that you get there in time. And sometimes it happens.
And
Sometimes
it
it doesn't. And in your situation, she got there just in time.
Yeah.
Just in time.
Yeah.
And that's a blessing, because some of the times it don't happen like that.
Yeah.
Even though that they reaching out, we
And
just
it still could
can't
have went
get
left
to you.
because by the time she got there, I already took the whole bottle of pills.
Yep.
So it still could have went left, but that was nothing but God's grace on
Nothing
my
but
life,
God.
because he knew that he
Hallelujah.
wasn't finished with me yet.
Yes.
He knew that, Raish, I'm not about to let you in your life like this when there's too much life in you to live that
Too
you
much.
have yet to experience. You're ready to turn in the towel over things that you went through, but you're not the only one that went through that.
And
You're not
yeah,
the only
only
one that
one
had
going
to
through
face
it.
things. It's a lot of people that had
Thank
to
you,
face
Jesus.
things. And it's some people that had to face more than what you had to
Face.
face. So are you just about
That's
to
what
give
we-
it up now?
That's
And
what we
just
got to
say,
look
"Forget it"?
at. Shit,
You
it's
ain't the
some
only
people.
one that had a hard life.
It's some people going through some shit, and we just feel like,
We like to
oh
believe we're the
my
only one."
gosh, we
Yeah.
the only. I'm the only. If I'm the only one feeling this way.
Yeah.
Why am I like this? Why am I going through this, baby? You're not the only one
Yeah.
going through what you're going through. You're going through what you're going through, and it's somebody I'm
Going through 10
guaranteed
times
you
worse.
going 10 times worse than what
Yeah.
you're going through. You know, and we just got to look at that. We got to sit back and reflect, and we just got to really like observe what's going on around us and how we treating our life and what we doing, because we got to look and see, oh, it's other people really out here doing stuff, and they still smiling.
Yeah.
They still moving the way they need to move.
Oh yeah, because I
Yeah, you
smiled
know.
a lot. People say,
And that's
"Hey,
a cover
how
up.
you feeling?"
That's the
I'm
cover
feeling
up of your
good. I
feelings.
feel great.
Yeah,
Life
that's
is
a
good.
cover up. And then you
Instead
probably
of telling the truth,
and
like
then you-
I don't feel
did
good.
you switch
I don't-
over to ask them how they was feeling real quick?
Yeah, like how
because you
you
wanted to
feeling?
get off that
Yeah.
subject.
I used to switch over all the time. Like I feel good, knowing deep down, instead of just telling the truth, I don't feel good today.
Yeah.
I feel empty today. I don't
Because
feel
it
like
goes
myself
down to what I
today.
said earlier, right? If you ain't got the solvent to my problem,
Yeah.
Yeah.
why am I wasting my? Because again, I don't know if you're gonna use it against me, if you even care for real.
Right.
That'd be the one thing right there. Do you even care for real? You just wanna.
And then sometimes the other thing is, if you're always seen as the strong one,
Yeah.
you don't want nobody to see you being weak.
Weak.
Hmm.
And that's
And I was always the one seen as the
Me
strong
as
one.
well.
I dealt with a lot of things. I was always the one that can help somebody else, talk
Yeah.
to somebody else, help
that's-
somebody else
that's
get
me.
through things.
No.
Share things with them
we
and help
break
them
down,
overcome
too.
things. So you know your strong friend, when they say check on your strong friend, check on your strong friend, because they ain't really that
Absolutely.
strong. They're carrying battles too, but they're so used to trying to help other people with their battles that they're not seeing their own.
Not seeing their own.
Yeah.
And that's like with me, when I was going through, like I got to the part where I was in a depression state, and this wasn't like no trauma or anything that had happened to me. It was just the fact I was dealing with someone I should never ever in life been dealing with. And people out there can bring you down. So don't think that it's past trauma gonna get you in a depression state. It's some of them damn men that you dealing with
And women.
that can get you in a depression state. Just like me, I was dealing with this particular man, and he was just not good for me whatsoever. And I knew that he wasn't good for me. And I'm like, God, I used to just be on my knees praying and just asking God to, like, look, deliver me from this. Like, give me a sign. God, pull me through it. Like, I was just looking to my kids and was just saying, like, I got to get away from him.
Right.
He's no good for me. And he's like what can I say? He was like a demon in disguise, so to speak. Mm-hmm. He was a cover up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He was fine one minute, next moment, it's like the devil.
But he could have been dealing with a mental issue
Probably
too,
so.
that he never got diagnosed.
Probably so. And then that's why he was the way that he was. But it was something I didn't need in my life, first and foremost, because I had my kids. And my kids didn't need to see that. And he just wasn't good for me overall, period. So he had to exit immediately. Right. He didn't stay long. Look, because I was getting to that point. But remember, like she said, the strong. I'm one of those strong individuals. Right. I'm built for it. You know what I'm saying? I done went through a lot in life, so I'm built for it. So I'm strong enough to be like, okay, look, Toya, talking to myself and everything. Look, Toya, this man, he's definitely not what you need. He needs to go. Like, look how you are. Right. Look how things are unfolding in your life. Look how nothing's good is happening for you. Look how bad things are happening after back to back. Look how he's just making you feel so down, not appreciative, not worthy. Look how he's making you feel. Like, a man can really take you to that point. Yeah. If you're not strong enough to look at yourself and be like, damn, this ain't me.
Right.
This ain't me. Why the fuck am I letting this man come into my life and change my character? I love myself. Why I'm at this point where I'm not even loving myself.
You can invest so much into somebody else that you end up losing yourself, right?
Quick.
And that's just like when you have friends, that whole check on your strong friends, right? The strong friends, right, are always the ones that's there for the other people. Right. And then when you get to the point where you have nothing left for yourself, it ain't nobody there left to replenish you. Yeah. You know what I mean? So that's why it's like sometimes, I dare I say it, it's good to be selfish. Yeah. You know what I mean? And care about yourself first. Yeah. You ever rode on the airplane, you know, the pilot tell you if something was to happen and the pilot go down, put the mask on yourself first. Mm-hmm. I don't care if you're with your kids, because if you can't help yourself, if you ain't in the right position, if you ain't in the right position yourself, you can't help nothing.
You can't help them kids.
Yeah. So that's just like when they say you got an empty glass. How can you pour into other people when your glass is empty? It's hard to pour into other people because you need to replenish your glass. You need to refill your glass, but you're so empty that now you don't have nothing.
Because that's how you feel. You know, a man can take you to that point of no return sometimes. They can make you feel less of a woman. They can make you feel so down and so useless and so helpless. And you'll be so lonely. You be so lonely in the inside. And that's how I was. And I was like, nope. You ain't finna get me. You think you finna get me, but you not finna get me. It ain't even finna go no further. I woke up quick, fast, in a hurry. It ain't finna get no further. You not finna defeat me. The devil is a lie. Yeah. You're not finna do it. I hurry up. I'm telling you, those prayers, they might not happen when you want them to happen, but they gonna come right on time. And I promise you, it was right on time. And I left that situation. I ain't never looked back. I don't even bring up the man. I'm not gonna mention his damn name because he ain't even worthy of that time. Right. Period. But yeah, I had to leave that situation. I left it, and it was just like a relief off my shoulders. Like I felt this heavy weight, just
a burden lifting.
It was just off me. I was like, hallelujah. Then things just started just revolving and happening to me in my life, and everything was just going so good for me after that. And I was just like, see, if I was not strong enough,
he could have broke you.
He could have broke me into pieces.
So just look at what you said. So we deal with things in life already. We deal with the if you got children, having to care for other human beings, having to be responsible for other human beings, be responsible for your own well-being.
Absolutely.
You have to deal with financial security. Some people are dealing with financial issues where
It's a lot of shit.
for a
people
man,
dealing
a lot
with.
of men go into depression when they can't no longer
Absolutely provide for their family.
for their family. That's one of the main reasons why men go into depression. And then you have some men who are broken from women as well, who they got with women who they love, and the women tore them down. They never uplifted them. They never rebuilt them.
know
So
some men
women don't just go
today
through it,
that's going
but
through
men
some
go
stuff
through
like
it
that.
too. And then they fall into a whole nother personality type because of what they went through.
Yeah.
And then you
Now
have
we got a label on them.
yeah, you got to label on them. And then you have, you may be dealing with work stress. The
Yep.
load may be real heavy that you're carrying at work on top of the load that you're carrying at home.
You gotta deal with.
That you got to deal with.
Right.
Then you still got trauma that you probably didn't deal with in your past.
Past.
So you're carrying all
People,
these
daddies
different
never been
things.
around. They don't know their
Yeah.
fathers.
Don't
they
know
don't
their
know their
fathers.
mothers.
Or you might be sick, dealing with the illness.
Yeah.
Sometimes when you find out and you're diagnosed
Knows
with
with
the life
something.
terminal illness, that takes you to depression.
Yeah,
That's
that
why a
shuts
lot
you
of
down.
men and some women don't want to know what's going on with them because they don't want to be stressed
Just like
and
our
have to
father.
deal with depression
Yep.
with that because you're thinking when my last day gonna be.
Yep.
Then you have some people
Absolutely.
going through their child, carrying the burdens of their children. They're grown now, but they have grown children that are dealing with things and they're carrying the burden of their children because still as
That's
a parent,
stressing them out.
yeah, as a
You know?
parent, you want the best for your
Damn kids
children.
will.
Or you have other people who are dealing with their children being sick
Yeah.
with terminal illnesses, and that's depressing them because they're saying, God, why am I dealing with this? So you deal with so many different
So much
things in
stuff.
life, and,
Yes.
and we're like a magnet where we're latching
Everything
on.
is
Everything is
attaching to you.
attaching to us. And then
Energy,
now
you know what I'm
all
saying?
these
Energy,
energies, it's taking you down. So that's why I stress all the time. And it's not for everybody. Some people do need medication, and I am not one that's against medication. Me,
If it's
I
for
never
you.
took it.
Right.
They prescribed it to me. Had to go to the crazy house. For those that need to know, if you ever try to commit suicide, you're getting sent to the crazy house, okay? You're going to be there for a couple weeks until they feel you can get out. So that was a wake up call for me right then and there. Because now you want to play crazy. You want to go through all this stuff.
Yeah,
Put yourself
she
in this
woke the
situation.
fuck up
Oh, I'm about to put you. I'm about to put you where the realness go down. At, okay?
I remember going to see her.
She tried to keep me in there. Y'all,
I did.
She tried
You know,
to keep me
that means
in
she
there.
thought you was crazy for real. That's what that
No,
means.
she has some tendencies. I'm telling you that it was something within her, the things that she was doing, and we just felt like she just needed to see. See, you need to wake the fuck up or your ass gonna be in here with really crazy folks. You know what I'm saying? It's time for a change.
Yeah,
Look-
she tried to
look-
keep me locked up, y'all.
Not like that. I was trying to help her as a sister and her oldest sister. I was trying to help her to get her
I
to
had to
open
get a
up her
lawyer to
eyes.
get out. She tried to keep me in there.
To open up her eyes and see, like, you're not crazy, but stop putting yourself in this type of
I feel you.
situation.
So like you think you crazy?
You know,
let me
show
show
you.
you crazy.
Right.
Let me show you. And I
So that was
swear to
tough
God,
love.
within
That was
hours.
tough
Yes,
love.
and that's what I
That
always
was a
been
reality shit. Like, hold on, I don't want this padded room.
And
This
it's
is
always
real
been tough
crazy
love
shit.
Oh
with
no,
her.
yeah, it was deep. Like
Yeah,
seriously,
I always have been tough love, that type of sister to her. I don't never want her to get into this type of stage where she's lost or she's doing stuff she don't need to be doing. I try to always like show her the light. Like, girl, you do this, look
Yeah.
what's gonna happen. Girl, that's why I was like, look, you just probably need to stay here for a minute just to see.
Yeah, and
you know what I'm
you really
saying?
don't have a say. Like after you try to commit suicide, you have no say. No
No.
say. At that point, the state takes over,
It's over.
and you have to go.
Have
so
to.
I had no choice. I had.
That's
to
why
go. And
we
I
had to get a lawyer
yeah.
to get her out.
But I had time, and I'm not even gonna say I appreciate it. I appreciate it now where I'm at because it did allow me to see
understood-
different
you
things.
understand
Yeah, you
now.
understood.
now.
And it made you understand then.
even more
What I was doing.
Yeah, and I'm not knocking anybody that had to go through that. It's not
No.
funny. I know we was just laughing. It's not funny
At all.
at
No,
all.
we just joking about it now
But-
Because we
we
can.
can.
yeah, because it can happen to anybody.
Yeah.
But what it
Definitely
was
not
for
funny.
me, it was a major wake up call for me to be in this room, not have no. It was like all of my rights was taken. I couldn't have none of the things I enjoyed with me
Yep.
in there. I literally couldn't have nothing. You couldn't go outside unless you got permission. You couldn't. I don't think we went outside at all. No, we didn't. We couldn't go outside at all. We can go in the community room and talk to other people or go to the lunch area.
Self-awareness.
It was a different experience,
Yeah.
and I got to see all these people go through all these things. And the first day I judged a lot of people. I'm like, no, they crazy. I'm not supposed to be here. Da, 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 da. And they this and they that.
Oh, well, I bet that taught you. I bet that taught you where you were supposed to be and where you weren't.
It did. Right. It really did, because then I started to see myself like, you don't know what they had to go through to be here.
Absolutely.
You don't know what they was dealing with to be here.
Yeah.
I had shared rooms with a young lady who was slicing her wrist.
See?
And I shared rooms with somebody else who overdosed. So I was able to see myself through them. And even though I hadn't reached all the way that point, I could have gotten there had I not dealt
Definitely,
with it.
real quick.
Yeah, and I was not receptive to the feedback sessions. Like I spent a lot of time in my room. I would not socialize. So that's why they was trying to extend my stay. Because they said, you're not doing anything that you need to do to get out of here.
Because I'm not going to.
Yeah. In order to get out of here, you need to be able to come in here to these therapy sessions, these group discussions.
Like,
group
I ain't
sessions.
crazy. What I need to do all this for?
It was almost like a AA meeting where you have to confess what you is. I am such and such and I'm this, right?
Yeah. Hi,
When
my
we
name
had
is Raisha, and I am crazy.
No, not necessarily in that format, but it was
Right.
we had group
I'm
sessions
just
where you
joking,
had
y'all.
to come up and say, you know, my name is such and such, and this is what I'm here for. This is what I'm
Right.
dealing with, because they wanted you to see yourself.
Yeah, because they want you to open up.
Yeah, they want you to
Yeah.
open up, and they want you to
It was
get
a way
to
of
the
observing yourself.
Exactly.
Stepping outside of
And
yourself.
getting to the
root.
Because if you're hearing yourself
Yeah.
say that, like, I'm here for what?
That's
Yeah.
why they do
Because
that
I'm
when they
here.
first
Yeah.
start. They want you to hear yourself and acknowledge that you
Yeah.
have a problem.
And you had to do these sessions every single day. Like, it wasn't a one day thing. And if you didn't participate, they felt you were not ready to connect and get to the root of the issue. So, because you're not getting to the root of the issue, we're going to extend your stay here. And you're
So
gonna
you
be
better
forced
follow
to stay
rules
here.
and you better do
So
what you
it's
need to do if you want to get up out of there.
So it's either you involve yourself and get to
Right.
the root of what the issue is,
Yeah,
or
which
you're
you're
gonna
supposed
stay
to
here longer.
anyways.
And the first week, I did not involve myself. I didn't want to talk to nobody. I didn't
Nope.
want them to talk to me. I said,
didn't.
stay out my room. I don't know you. I don't want to know you. Don't come say nothing to me.
Yeah.
They say, oh, you need to take this
didn't.
medication. I ain't taking nothing. So that was making them even madder. She refuses. She's refusing treatment. So-
And we're not knocking people who, like we said earlier,
Yeah.
who has to take medication
It's
because it's needed
each
for
their
some
own,
most.
yeah.
But some people, it really can affect them in some bad ways.
It can change your
and it's
mood
not good.
and make it worse.
Yeah, change your mood completely. So
Yeah.
it's not good that they take it, so they don't take it. But even though it's not really,
I say you have to weigh it out. Like, I feel
Yeah,
like
definitely
if you
weigh it
know
out.
it's needed, like it's really, really bad to the point where you're causing harm to other people and even causing harm to yourself consistently, and nothing that nobody is saying is getting to you, then you may need to take it.
or alternatives,
Yeah,
like if it's
alternatives,
something,
like
something
a,
else that that they can do,
Yeah, so-
like meditating,
Yeah, so I'ma
or
get into
anything,
that too.
yoga, anything that can ease your mind and just
Divert
have
it
you
from
at peace with yourself, other than the medication,
Because for me personally, like I said, I don't knock anybody that
Absolutely
takes it.
not.
If you need it,
We're not
take
knocking.
it. If it's something that's going to help you and it doesn't cause any other outside side effects, you do what you need to do to get
What's good
recovered
for you.
and be better for you and your family and yourself.
absolutely.
But for me, I was never the medication type. I wouldn't even take a pain medicine for if I had
Yeah,
a
she
headache.
don't like taking
I
pain
never liked it,
medication.
putting anything in my body. So that was my reason. I just never. I always tried to find alternatives to what else can I do to cope with this. And after talking to people, because while I was there, I had to start participating and getting into the group sessions. And I'm breaking it down because I want y'all to know the things
Yeah.
that you would
She
go
wa-
through, things that people have
This
to
is needed. This is very
experience.
much
Yeah.
needed because
Go
people
through
need
group
to hear
sessions.
this.
You have to communicate with everybody there, even if you don't want to, because they got to see that you're being involved, that you're really been involved. So once I started getting involved, I did start seeing myself more. And I even started socializing with other people to see what their issues was and building relationships with them while I was in there. Cause I'm like, wow. So she's not like that, or he's not like this, or whatever the case may be. Like, they're just like me. They just went through something. And then even when I started talking to the therapist there, he like, you don't need to be here. You really don't need to be here.
Yeah,
But
he
you
was telling
have
the
to
truth.
get to the root of the issue.
Yeah, 'cause
You
it's a
have to get to the root
problem.
of the issue, because if you don't, you'll end up back here. So once I left there, what I started doing, I started consuming myself with meditation. I
See?
started consuming myself with affirmations, just speaking life over myself.
Yes,
And because
yes.
the root of my issue was I needed to
Very much
replenish
needed.
that empty hole that I was feeling. I started going to church more. I built my relationship with God. I started praying more, and I started
So
exercising.
you was very much so taking
Yeah.
the appropriate steps into healing.
I found what worked for me, and doing all those things worked for me. I got up early, go outside, listen to the birds chirp, be one with nature, and I just started finding what works for me, and I stayed consistent with it.
Yeah.
And I started being happy. I started loving me. I started seeing me, and I started talking more, because that was another thing that I learned while having therapy sessions.
wasn't talking
I
at first.
internalized too much. I carried too much. I didn't speak my truth enough.
Yeah,
I allowed
yeah.
people to
And
get
that
over on
happens.
me instead of just saying how I felt when I needed to say it, but in a respectful way. Because I would say it after time. I will get to that point where I'm like, okay,
Right.
I'm sick of this now, and that's when the crazy side, the other side will come out, where now I'm acting out in ways
What
I
level?
shouldn't, and anger is coming
One of
out.
our viewers said, "How many levels is it of craziness?"
I think it's
a
a
whole
lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. You will know yourself. You know
Yep,
when you're not
definitely a
yourself.
no.
Oh, yeah. Because I was definitely doing a lot of things, like acting out on guys I was with. I shout out to the man that dated me.
Right.
Because they probably did go through a lot then. Because when they would do something wrong, like cheat on me, oh baby, the side came out. And all that stuff I was holding in, I lashed it out on them. I put it on them. And I would black out. Like it would be
Yeah.
bad where I would black out and do things to people once, because I never shit. Like even
Yeah,
to
it was just
a
taking
girl,
over you.
if somebody said something to me, I would take it and take it and take it until it get to the point where I'm like, okay, now that's your last strike.
It's over.
I'm not taking it no more. But I learned through therapy to speak my truth, even if it may hurt somebody. But it's all about how you say it, the tone of your voice, saying it respectfully. But speak your
Absolutely.
truth. Don't carry things. If you feel a
Can't
certain
carry
way
that
about
heavy
somebody,
weight.
tell them. If
Yeah.
somebody's hurt you, tell them that they hurt you. If you feel like somebody's disrespected you, tell them that they disrespected you. If you're not feeling good, tell that person, I'm not feeling my best today. I'm not good. Don't lie. Tell the
Because
truth.
it be like that. Even
How are
if
you feeling? I'm not feeling good.
Even
Because
if
then
you're
maybe
not
they can
going
inspire
through
you to feel
something.
better.
Yeah, we have our days where
Just
we're not
don't carry
feeling our
it.
best. You know, it just be one of them days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't carry it. That's what I'm saying.
Definitely can't carry
Whatever
that
you're
weight.
dealing with, whether it's from the past or whether it's from your present life, don't carry things.
Yeah.
Because when you carry it, stress turns into depression turns into other things, and triggers turn into other things, and it can get to the point of
Worse
no
and
return
worse and
for
worse.
yourself or for the people around you. So don't carry things. Get it out. Don't allow people to make you feel that you speaking your truth is bad. Don't allow
And it's
people to make
not.
you feel that you speaking to a therapist or going to seek help is bad, because it's not. You do whatever you need to do to be great for you. You do whatever you need to do to
Whatever
be great
you
for
need
those
to
that
do.
you love. You do whatever you need to do so that you can be better, because otherwise, if you don't reach out to take the steps necessary, whether it be meditation, exercising, whatever your steps is, whatever works for you, because what worked for me may not work for you. So whatever you find that works for you, whether it's a passion, something that you love, like drawing, writing it down. I also started journaling a lot and writing down my thoughts and getting it out on paper.
Yeah, that's a good technique
That
to do
helps
too. Yeah.
So yeah, what you find the technique, but don't stop trying.
Yeah, don't
stop
stop. Don't give
trying to
up too
figure out
easily.
what can make you better. And when you feel in that point, when you get to the point of no return, when you feel like you just don't want to be here no more, don't take the steps to ending yourself.
No.
Don't take those steps. That's when you need to go talk to somebody
Yeah.
and release it to
So
that
that's-
one person that you trust. And trust me, when you do, it is going to be a weight lifted. And then you might, for those who are family members of people that are dealing with depression, don't think that they're okay when they say they're okay. Still reach out to them.
Yeah, reach out to
Don't
them
wait till
because they
it's
not
too late.
okay.
Stay in their face if you got to.
Yeah.
Stay in their face. Take turns rotating to get to know them. Because one of the things I can say, one of my aunts, and that's why I love her to this day, she supported me during my good times. She supported me during my bad times. She was there. She was one of the people that came to visit me while I was away and wrote me beautiful letters and came and talked to me and inspired me and pushed me like, you got this, you got that going on, blah,
Going
blah,
on
blah.
for yourself. Yeah.
She kept me going. And people always say like, why do you love her so much? I love her so much because she was just always there. She was there when I wasn't able to be there for myself. And we look for that. We look for that one person. And it's not no knock to my mother. It's not no knock to my sister or anybody else that was in my life.
Yeah, because sometimes
She
it do
was
be
just
that one
there.
person.
Yeah.
That you really can turn to. Like, not to just get off the subject, but that is her advice that she want to give to people out here that is battling this depression or that's feeling like they have some type of mental disorder as bipolarness and they don't know what it is. Go seek some help and go find out for sure so you'll know exactly what's going on within your body. But to speak on it, I don't know if Mark, you got that picture that I sent you?
Let me see. What was it?
Of Chelsea Curse.
Let me go.
I think
look.
Chris. I think
Let me
that's
go.
her name.
Let me go look and see if
Well, she's the I want to talk about her story a little bit because not only is her story is going to be touching people out there in the world, it is that person. This may be you that I'm talking to right now. But she was Miss USA 2019. She was the winner of Miss USA North Carolina, and she also became the host on Extra. Y'all, if y'all watch the
we
news
seen that.
Extra,
Right,
yeah.
right. Yeah.
And she was 30 years old, and she ended her life January 30th. Her mom talked about it on Red Table Talk, and she was saying how her daughter was battling depression many, many years ago, and this wasn't her first suicide attempt. This was her second suicide attempt. So the first one, her mother was able to talk to her, get her some help, and be there for her. But this particular time, she couldn't do it. So I'm going to talk about a little bit about what happened with the situation. Chelsea, like I said, she was 30 years old. She was a beautiful young lady. She was what a lot of young girls look up to. She won Miss America. How awesome is that to win Miss America? You know what I'm saying? A lot of people can't do that. And within her stuff, she seemed so happy on the outside, but she was battling depression to the extreme on the inside. And so January 30th, she took her life. She went to the 29th building of her apartment building.
29th floor.
29th floor, not building. Thank you for correcting me. The 29th floor in her building, and she committed suicide. And I know people may look at this as people go through all type of stuff. This is the way she decided to do it. People go through stuff as drowning, as shooting their stuff in the head. It's all type of stuff that people taking pills, overdosing, all type of situations that people feel that's going to numb them and to end their life. And for this young lady to decide to jump off the 29th floor, just talking about it, like at those moments, like what was she thinking? Like, whoo, just to jump. Like she took her life so young. And she wrote her mom a letter before she would text her mom a long note before she committed suicide. But it was like a hour gap in between of it. And her mother tried to help her. Her mother tried to come, but it was just too late. The demons took over her. And sometimes I know you guys be facing problems or y'all going through some stuff right now. Just know that it is help out there. Know that you're not the only one that's going through some stuff. Like Raisha said, find something that works for you. Meditate. Do yoga. Do whatever that works for you. Write a book. Put your thoughts together and create a book. Yeah, do what makes you happy and you feel that's going to work for you. Seek professional help because it's okay for our black folks to go seek some professional help. It's okay. They licensed. They know what they're talking about.
And if you're not
there's somebody that don't know you,
do it for the people you love.
Yeah, do it. Look to your people. Don't think that you in this world alone and that no one loves you. You are very much loved. Yeah. But you got to know how to love yourself first and foremost. Because this world that we live in, this is a crazy world we living in. And you have to be able to be strong to go through a lot of stuff that's going to hit at you. And we have to be able to be strong. We have to be able to, first and foremost, look to God for every
Yeah,
type of path, direction, or
step one to
move
me.
move that you're gonna look to God. He's a healer. You know, he's gonna answer your prayers. He's gonna answer your cause. He's gonna answer. It may not be at that particular moment, but he is gonna be there, and he's gonna be there right on time. You know, we gotta stop letting the demon and letting the devil takes control over our body and win at
That's
the end.
what it is.
Yeah, we gotta stop.
I feel like depression or any type of things that someone may be going through mentally is all a demon entering your mindset.
Definitely.
Mindset.
Spiritual,
yeah, it's
definitely.
a spiritual battle that you're fighting, and it got to the point where it took over you because
it's
you
like
allowed it to take over.
You got the good person here and the bad person
Yeah.
here. You got God
Saying,
here
"Do
and the
this.
devil here.
You're not worthy.
Yeah.
You're this. You're
Yeah.
that. You're that. You're that.
Eating at you.
Eating at you, and you let it take over. But that's why your key factor, what you said, is God is important.
God is very
Self-love
important.
comes from the love of God. Once you love God wholeheartedly and really build that relationship, it's one thing to go to church. I'm not talking about just being a church goer. I'm
'Cause
talking
everybody
about
can get
having
up
a
and go to church.
relationship with God, a one-on-one
One
relationship with
relationship.
God, apart from the church, apart from anybody else making you go. You build this relationship. You're speaking to God throughout your day.
Absolutely.
You're reading the scripture, or even if you don't believe in the scripture, you're speaking to God throughout your day and asking God to help you. Because even when everything is right in your life, we all need help at some point from God.
We all do.
Yeah, because
Don't
you're gonna
ever
deal
think
with
that you
something.
don't need it. Yeah, we
God
all
never
gonna deal
said
with
life was
something.
gonna be easy. God never said you're gonna have it easy.
Sure
God
not.
said you're gonna have tests. You're gonna have trials.
That's
But
your
it's your love
testimony.
for me, and it's your relationship with me that's gonna help you get through those trials. It's your love and relationship with me that's gonna help you get through those tests because you're gonna be tested. Why wouldn't we be tested when Jesus bared all of our sins? He had to be tested, and he was a good person. He had a pure heart. You know,
He did,
so
yes.
we're gonna go through things. But first, I would say to all you young ladies and young men, women and men, seek God. Love yourself. Do not be afraid to speak your truth. Even if you feel someone's going to condemn you for it.
Yeah.
Even if you feel that someone's going to judge you for it.
Don't worry about that.
Don't worry about that, because it's better to find a way to get through it than to continue to carry things that you don't need to carry alone by yourself, because it's going to only eat up at you. It's going to eat up at you. So whoever you got that's a positive force in your life, that's who you need to be in constant connection
As
with.
the saying goes,
Yeah.
I'd rather be
Connection
hated for
with
who
them.
I am
Yeah.
than loved for who I'm not.
Exactly. That's a good
Exactly.
point, Mark. Exactly. And then not only that too, you got these kids now. Now we living in this type of world where these teenagers, they starting at 12 years old, they depressed. They coming home from school saying, "Mom, I'm depressed," or "I don't want to go to school no more," or and it's probably the crowd of people that they be hanging around
Social
with.
media.
Social media taking over their lives,
Making them think things.
making them think things. Oh, the kids can't wear these name brand clothes; they can't afford it, so they not in the in
popularity
crowd.
thing.
And these group of girls, they don't like me just because they don't like me because their boyfriend is trying to hit on me. So now these kids are saying they depressed about everything. And then you got these bullies, the cyber bullies. You got the kids videotaping fights, trying to promote fights.
A whole
Yeah.
nother
A
level
whole
of
number
bullying
level
Yeah.
of
than what
bullying.
we went through.
And that's
that's for
making
sure.
these kids depressed to some type of point where they trying to commit suicide. Majority of them do. They succeed and they commit suicide because of what they dealing with in school. So we got as parents, as people, we just need to seek to God. We need to get ourselves together. We need to be able to come to our kids and talk to them. Our kids should be able to come to us, and we need to be able to listen to what they have to say and come up with solutions
Feed
to
them.
help this.
Feed them with positivity.
Oh,
Feed them
absolutely.
with
They
the
need
love
that
of
in their
God,
mind.
yeah.
They need
It's
that.
enough
Yeah.
negativity
It's-
out here
it's
for them.
a
to
lot
have
of
off
negativity.
It's a lot.
Enough,
A whole
like I
lot.
said, too
So
much.
we don't
Fill them
need
up
it.
with
We
positivity.
definitely don't need that at all. So we just gotta come to one and just realize, we are thankful that we
Yeah.
can wake up to another day, that God gave us another day.
Yeah.
And then not only that, we here. We here. We got
See
our
the beauty in life.
yeah. We got our mind. We got our hands to work, our feet to walk. We have a vehicle. We have a home to live in. We very fortunate. Even the ones that's not fortunate, they probably been there and just something happened within their life that got them to the point that they are in, or whatever the case may be. But just look to anybody. Just look to God and just pray. Get on your knees. Pray about it. Ask God to just heal things, make things right for you, make you a better person. Take this demon away from you. Get them up out of your system. Let them go away. Like, just relieve so much stress off of me, God, because I'm just battling so much and I don't know which way to go. At some days I'm waking up in a good mood and I'm waking up in a bad mood. I don't know which way I'm going. So just pray, people. If any advice I can give you is to pray and seek professional help, because the first step is to admit that you have a problem.
That's the number
and
one
if you
key.
don't admit that you have a problem, it's not going to be no help for you, because you have to admit that. Anybody can tell you.
Yeah.
This person can tell me, that person can tell me, but you got to admit.
Imagine driving in the car and you hit a pothole, boof, and your tire pop. And you just keep riding like your tire ain't pop. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, I'm just going to act like it ain't pop. Like, it's pop. If people telling you, hey, man, your tire busted, and then your car start acting funny, and you just still operating, and you know it.
Because you can feel it.
You roll
you
past 10 tire shops.
Yeah.
But it's like,
You
know,
trying to
if you don't observe or acknowledge the problem, how is it going to get fixed?
It's not going to get fixed.
Pay attention to the signs. If you see yourself acting in a behavior that's not usual for a long period
very
of time,
uncommon.
That's one of the signs that it's something wrong.
Yeah.
If you see yourself sad more than often, that's something wrong. If you see yourself one minute you're nice and then the next minute you flip out on somebody, something may be wrong. So
something's
pay
definitely
attention
wrong.
to the
Please pay
signs of
attention.
yourself. And like she said, seek God. Because then, and have that same anticipation that you have for relationships, that you have for love, or wanting to be loved, wanting to be fulfilled in purpose, and the things that God wants to bring into fruition for your life. That same anticipation, have that same anticipation for God and yourself.
Yeah. And then things can evolve and things can change in your life if you just speak to them. Speak to them.
Yeah.
And if you're not in no church home, or if you ain't even got to be in no church home, just pick up your Bible. Go out to the store, go get you a Bible, and just start reading scriptures and just growing a connection within yourself in your own home. You know what I'm saying? So you can get a better connection with them.
Expect the best.
Yeah,
Expect the best in what can happen.
Absolutely.
Don't continue to be around that negative person that's telling you you're going to stay that way. That nothing can help you. Nothing can change you, because it can. Expect
You can get
the
out
best,
that. You
and
can
will
get out
it.
that slump that you're in. You can get out of that.
I'm a living testimony.
Yeah, she's
I'm
a living
probably like the
testimony.
most positive person you'll ever meet now.
She's a
Like,
living
God has really
testimony,
changed
and
me.
she's not the only one. It's
Yeah,
a lot of
it's a
other
lot of
people that's
people.
out here, and that's a living testimony. So don't feel like you're undefeated. It's so much life to live, baby. And feel
So
like you're
much.
worthy, and you can do it. It's possible, okay? Just find out ways that works for you, just like she did, and everything is going to be okay. So I do have a hotline number. He's going to post it as well, but it's 1-800-273-TALK 8255. Again, 1-800-273-8255. And you can also text BRAVE, BRAVE, to 741-741 for any type of help, and they're going to be at your assistance. It's help out there. Seek to that one person. If it's not nobody else that you can talk to, but that one person, seek to that one person for some help, because it's help, and they can listen. You know, don't think that people are going to judge you. We got to stop judging people.
You matter.
Your life matter.
You matter a lot.
A whole lot.
Yeah.
Little do you know. And it's going to be okay. Seek to God, baby. Until again, hey, y'all just, I told y'all it was going to be a show,
It's a heavy
a
one.
heavy show, but it's very informational, and it's going to help a lot of
Much
people that's,
needed conversation.
much very needed. And then for our listeners out there, it may be helping and touching somebody. And I appreciate everybody tuning in to She Said What She Said, period. Every Wednesdays at 9:00 p.m.
Y'all
Until
better
then,
tune in.
I'm out. Bye. Thank you, Ray, for coming.
You're welcome.
Bye.
You are now tuned in to 7 Mile Radio.
Production.